The Drug Enforcement Agency, or DEA, is seizing more and more fentanyl-laced fake prescription pills nationwide, as well as here in Michigan.
And according to the CDC, fentanyl remains the deadliest drug threat facing this country. 67% of more than 107,000 drug overdose deaths in 2021 involved synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
13 on your side's Carla Byron got an exclusive look inside a forensic lab in Chicago, where these dangerous and deadly drugs are tested.
The DEA Detroit division seized 19 million deadly dosages of fentanyl pills and powder last year. This is their lab in Chicago, where they analyze samples to further investigations. In this small, secured room is where the DEA houses all of their evidence from 12 states in the Midwest. These samples were seized within the last year.
We're talking a lot about the M30 counterfeit tablets that contain fentanyl, which we're seeing a lot of those, huge uptick in those in the last few years.
There are also fake Adderall and ecstasy pills containing meth, Xanax with designer benzodiazepine, and heroin or fentanyl powder.
Sometimes difficult to tell that they're not the real thing if you're not sure what you're looking at.
Most of the drugs analyzed years ago were cocaine, meth, and heroin. But that has changed as people started ordering chemicals through the dark web and internet. Next step is the pills are sent to the forensic lab for analysis. The blue ones you see here are illicit M30 tablets containing fentanyl. They're crushed up and then introduced to an instrument that can separate the individual components in the pill.
And this is matching up with fentanyl. So we've done some studies too at the DEA about M30s that have been seized in exhibits, and that showed that 6 in 10 of the tablets contains over 2 milligrams of fentanyl, which is that lethal dose.
There's no quality control measures in the pharmaceutical industry, so there's an inherent danger with taking these drugs.
So if they, kill a few people whilst making that dollar, they don't really care. It's about making money.
A spokesperson for the DEA Detroit division says most of the fentanyl killing Americans is trafficked by Mexican drug cartels who are getting chemicals sourced from China.
If we were to find every drug dealer, drug trafficker, and put them in jail, someone would come up and take their place.
McNeil says on top of putting away the street-level dealer and the supplier, they must address the demand side for these pills. That's why they've launched Operation Engage, which connects field offices with the communities they serve, bringing awareness to drug use trends and prevention efforts.
We did things, something as simple as a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, where you bring in young people to play basketball, and there's a job fair attached to that. And we had people come up to us and say, this is the first time that I've hung out with law enforcement, and it was cool. And just little things like that, reaching out into the community, can make a world of difference.
All in all, the evidence is turned into valuable information the DEA can use for enforcement or intelligence to mitigate the growing fentanyl crisis. In Chicago, Carla Byron, 13 on your side.